you've been working out, you've been eating better, you've been doing everything that you think you need to do, and all of a sudden your body just doesn't respond. You're not losing weight, you're not losing inches, your progress photos look the same to you, whatever it may be, and you have decided that you have officially reached a plateau. So we are going to talk about plateaus today and what you can do to fix it. But before we get into that, I am Tiffany, certified personal trainer, nutrition specialist, and your body snatcher, and this is Snatch Chat. So I'm here to help you lose fat, but not your mind, all while saving you some time. Okay, so also, before we get into the facts, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do put out videos regularly, and make sure you get your freebie in the description. I always put a free resource. Usually it includes some kind of mindset hacks and a couple workouts and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this plateau. So this is one of the most popular and most commonly stated problems in fitness is that people will say, that they have done everything that they need to do and that they are not getting anywhere. Okay, so I have a few reasons or explanations of why this may be happening. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into them. Okay, so the first and maybe most obvious one would be that you are not hitting a plateau, or you are hitting a plateau, but it's really not a plateau. It is just that you're not doing what you need to do. Okay, so I do find that a lot of times in people's heads, okay, they have made up that they are doing more than they think they are. So a lot of people will start to work out, okay, and they will start to eat well, but first of all, they may not have an actual cohesive plan to effectively get where they want to go. But a lot of times it's just the fact that they start on a roll, okay, and then they retract a little at a time. So even though it doesn't feel like they've completely fallen off what they were doing before, they are. And that, I would say, accounts for quite a few of the cases of a plateau, when really it's not a plateau, because a plateau really means that you're doing what you need to do and you're still not getting results. So by not doing exactly what you were doing in the first place to get those results, you're automatically not really in a plateau. You're getting the results that effectively go with what effort you're putting in. Okay, so that would be the first thing I would really advise you to do, is to really look at yourself when you were actually losing the weight versus now. So, are you really doing the same amount of workouts? Are you consistently doing your cardio? Are you still eating exactly the same way? And if so, have you increased any momentum on the workout side? Are you, increasing your speed? Are you using more weight and progressing? Because eventually you have to progress your program in order for you to keep getting results, because your body does get bored, okay? It's something I like to call body shock, okay, where you have to kind of keep your body guessing and you have to keep implementing new things. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it has to be something. So you can't use 5-pound weights for the rest of your life per se. Okay, I did another video on the fact that you don't have to really use heavy weight. But, if you're going to use 5-pound weights, that means that you have to change something else, either frequency or, number of reps or something. So weight is usually one of the easier ways to do it, but you do have to progress your program. So the first, thing I would say about plateau is that if you are not actually doing things consistently or slash you're doing things consistently, but you're doing the same old forever, you are definitely going to reach a plateau. But in real life, it's not a plateau. It really is just your body reacting and doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It is giving you the results based on the actions that you are doing. Okay? Another reason your body may hit a plateau, and this is going to actually be maybe the side that people don't really consider, and that is that your body has actually not hit a plateau at all. Okay, so I know it's really easy to blame, anything, any slowness of progress on a plateau, but a lot of times it really is just impatience. Okay, and this has to be said because in this current fitness landscape, everybody wants their results really fast. Okay, so if you are actually doing your workouts consistently, okay, you are eating better. And when I say eating better, I don't mean in your head either. I mean that you actually have a super, very comprehensive plan, or you are very aware of the calories that you're taking into your body. Because, of course, and I'm going to say it in every video because it is essential to every topic, you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose fat. So, being a caloric deficit by itself is going to give you results and you're going to lose weight. It is science, it is proven, there's no other way. So, if you are actually getting a caloric deficit, you are working out consistently and you are logging calories, and even if you're not logging calories, you are still in a deficit because you have learned your food a certain way and you know that you're in a deficit and you're still not losing weight. The truth of the matter is you may have hit a temporary plateau, if you want to call it that, but it's not really a plateau. It is just your body, okay, adjusting. And this is especially true when it comes to the scale. So I say it all the time. I try to drill it in the head of my clients, okay? You cannot rely on the scale by itself. You have to have other factors that you are measuring, okay, in order to really have a good grasp on what is happening with your journey. That is why I always suggest that you take progress photos, at least once a month. If you can, once a week. I would say that's even better because you can just kind of see the progression as you go. Every other week is fine too. But progress photos are one of my favorite because you can actually see it. Next, I would say after that would be, using things that aren't even measurable, like how your clothes are fitting, how you're feeling, because in the end, I think we forget that these numbers, they really are just supposed to reflect, okay, how we're feeling about ourselves and how we are actually showing up in the world, right? Because in the end, when we want to fit into our wedding dress, we want to fit into our wedding dress. We don't want to fit into our wedding dress only at 162 pounds or whatever. Like, we don't know that number. We just know we want to, look good in a bathing suit, or, get in shape for our 40th birthday or whatever, right? That would be mine. I'm going to be 40, next year. I just turned 39, so, I'm trying to figure that whole thing out. But yeah, so I think once you start, putting more emphasis on your goals in another matter other than the scale, it can be very helpful, okay? Then maybe measurements, okay? So actually taking measurements of your bust, your waist, your hips, in order to kind of know how your body is shifting as opposed to the weight. And then last but not least, still the scale, right? And that's the one that most people are going to get hung up on. But the thing with that is you just have to know that you may be at the same weight for quite a bit of time. A great example of this would be me. I will be the same weight no matter what, okay? Whether I'm going to stay in the same 5-pound range when I'm at my tightest to up until where I'm kind of, in my opinion, in my flabbier mode. Okay, so, and once I get past that range, I know that I'm going too far, but it's pretty much a 5-pound range where my body can look completely different. And that's where, mass comes in. Is it more muscle than fat, or vice versa? So you really have to go in it with a grain of salt when it comes to measuring on the scale. And so I think that if you actually use another tracking method, it will really help and you will realize that you have not actually hit a plateau. And with that being said, I would say that this is what is happening with the mass majority of people who are actually consistent. I have to, really stress that if you're actually consistent, okay, and you are doing what you need to do, you most likely are not in a plateau. You are just in a little bit of a little bit of what can we call it? A transitioning moment. Okay, you're on your way, and then you might find that in a couple weeks it's going to start tweaking again, and then you're good. Now, all that being said, if you are going 2-3 months without any progress on the scale, that means that you are not in a caloric deficit, okay, at all. Okay, and this actually is even before a few months. Like, if after a month or two you are not starting to see the scale trickle down and you're not seeing your ranges, at least your bottom number, hitting a new bottom number every now and then, you have hit a plateau, or you have not been having a caloric deficit, and you need to figure that out. So you need to either burn more calories or eat less calories, and that's a whole nother topic, and I have a ton of videos on that because that is pretty much the focus of my whole system of training and stuff. So you can definitely look at those. I'll probably link a couple of those below, but in the end, you are not in a plateau. So I guess that would be the sum of the video, is to say that the reason people have a plateau is, one, they're either not being consistent and they're not doing exactly what they need to be doing, or they're not aware of what they need to be doing, or two, they're actually not in a plateau and they're just impatient and they just need to wait a little bit longer and really see how it all balances out. Okay, so that is it for the day. Hopefully I shed a little bit of light on that. Maybe it's not really what you wanted to hear. I don't know. Sometimes people want to hear these magical solutions to these problems, and they don't exist. Okay, you just have to do the work, and you have to tweak the work if it needs to be tweaked as you go. And I would always encourage you to really try to enjoy the journey and enjoy the fact that you get to play around and kind of fix things as you go. Okay, so that is it for today. Hopefully you liked the video. As I said, make sure you like the video if you found it helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then also don't forget to go get your freebies. Okay, so that is it. Till next time, eat well, drink well, take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, and I will see you soon.